the big news that I've been trying to work my way up to here, I guess, is what Donald Trump said last night about Ben Carson. And I find this astonishing, and about the people of Iowa, I find this astonishing on two levels. It looks to me like we're finally seeing the unraveling of the political outsiders, both Ben Carson and Donald Trump. Donald Trump is doing his best to destroy Ben Carson's story. And Ben Carson, well, he's not doing himself any great favors, but and I think that in the process of trying to destroy Ben Carson, Donald Trump might be destroying himself. And here's why. The central tenet of Christianity, and I frankly don't think Donald Trump knows this. I think he was raised a Catholic. He went to communion, and Domini, you're all Catholic now, and I think he's a ceremonial Catholic, basically a secular Catholic. I'm pretty sure he's Catholic, wasn't he? Yeah, he talked about the priest and he talked about the wafers. I mean, maybe he's Episcopalian, whatever, but he's, in one of those churches, one of those Christian churches where they pass out wafers. And here's the blood of Christ, here's the body of Christ. And redemption, I mean, the core story of Christianity, he's Presbyterian. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, he's Presbyterian, but whatever. The core story of Christianity and arguably of Judaism and Islam as well, because they're rooted in the creation story in Genesis, is that because that nasty woman Eve, always blame it on the women, right? This is the the origins of misogyny, or actually the first documentation of misogyny, because that awful Eve listened to the snake and ate the apple, that every person born out of her womb for the rest of all of humanity is cursed by that God who loves us so much. And the way that we overcome the curse is that God who loves us so much killed his only son to save us. He made a blood sacrifice. Now, this is back, keep in mind, this is the Bronze Age. This was, 4,000 years ago. And people routinely sacrificed animals to the gods. In fact, when Jesus busted up the money changers at the temple, what were the money changers doing? They were changing money for animals. I mean, animal sacrifices, animal gifts, in part. I don't want to do a Ben Carson here and go off on a Bible rant that might even be wrong. But anyhow, it's a redemption story. So you go to Jesus to be redeemed. So to say that somebody couldn't have been redeemed by prayer and Christianity is quite literally to say Christianity is a bunch of bunk. And so, Donald Trump is saying that, and he's saying that very specifically, saying that not only that, Ben Carson is lying about being redeemed. That Ben Carson was always a nice, soft-spoken guy, and that he embellished his story to make him sound like a badass, so that so that the redemption story would work, and it has worked. Ben Carson has become a multi-millionaire, very wealthy man, almost entirely on his, well, not entirely. He made a lot of money as a surgeon, I'm sure, but largely on his redemption story. He wrote Healing Hands 9-10 years ago, and he has turned that into a career. Book tours, speaking tours, lectures, all kinds of, this is, and for that to go down in flames is really going to hurt the Ben Carson brand, which is one of the reasons why his business manager, Armstrong Williams, the guy who got busted for promoting Bush and his, I think it was his war, but it was something about the Bush administration, as if he was a news reporter when in fact he was being paid by the White House. Remember that Armstrong Williams scandal? He's the guy who's in charge of Carson. My concerns with Carson are that he hangs around with criminals and he's corrupt. But anyhow, here's what Donald Trump had to say.
So he said he has pathological disease. Now, if you're pathological, there's no cure for that, folks. Okay? There's no cure for that. But if you're a child molester, there's no cure. They can't stop you.
Actually, that's not altogether
pathological.
True, it's hard.
There's no cure. Now, he said he was pathological. Okay. He took a knife and he went after a friend and he lunged that knife into the stomach of his friends. But lo and behold, it hit the belt. It hit the belt. And the knife broke. Give me a break. Give me a break. How stupid are the people of Iowa? How stupid are the people of the country
See,
to
all over
believe
Iowa, they
this
were cringing.
crap? So here's the good news. He's now saying all of that stuff happened because otherwise he's a liar. So Carson, oh, the knife broke. There it is. It's laying in the, oh. Good. So what he's saying is that these series of events, and he goes into the bathroom for a couple of hours, and he comes out, and now he's religious. And the people of Iowa believe him. Give me a break. Give me a break.
So this is Donald Trump basically dissing the redemption story. And I think I want to talk more about the redemption story, and I will after the break. And then to watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.